Hi guys, I hope everything is going well with you in your journey wherever and whomever you may be, wherever you're seeing this and whatever time, maybe now when the video goes up, the next day, or a year from now, who knows. But I hope and I wish you utmost love for this because it's not easy. It's a rough journey, and talking about some of these things, you may think, I've seen all these videos, but it doesn't really get me anywhere. Like, no one's explaining this, or maybe I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing this, this, and that, but I am having a hard time manifesting. And I really want you to look and dig deep into your soul and into your subconscious and really lift that veil and ask, may these things come to light. May your shadow come to light. So when we talk shadow work, we're talking making and revealing that subconscious and basically allowing these traits and these wounds that need to heal, that have just been repressed because of society or because of what other people have said. We're going against the normation and the normatives that really rule who we are, because we're told, oh, put yourself in this box and don't have a personality, or you can have a personality, you just can't be weird. You can't do this, you can't do that. And what does that do? It hurts us because we stop growing. We stop nurturing this thing. We stop. So shadow work is really making the unseen seen. So allowing the conscious to come in and become the conscious, or allowing these traits. So a lot of the times the subconscious will repress emotions or wounds or traumas that we've manifested, and they could be inherited from us or to us. It's basically saying that you're finding and you're healing the undesirable parts. Your ego is telling you, oh, no, I don't have this, I don't need this, but it's true, because if you're not here and you're like, why am I here? What am I doing? You know what I mean? There's a reason you've clicked this video. There is a reason you have manifested this, because your soul is talking to you, telling you, like, look, like, she's pointing out what we need to do. So be kind to yourself. And that really starts with self-love. We have all these things that happen in life that we neglect us. So for me, for instance, I'm learning to, eat healthier. I eat junk food. I'm a type of person, I love sweets, and it's taken off a toll on my skin. I've never had bad skin. I mean, I've had acne and a little breakout here and there, but I've never had a full face of it or go down my neck. And last month alone, for whatever reason, was just sugar addiction. And it's not okay. And another part of me, I don't like mornings. I'm not a morning person. I have never been a morning person. I am such a night owl that I do my best thinking either near water, in water, or at night, because the whole world is sleeping. So I don't have to deal with society. I can be myself at night, in a sense it really comes out. And another thing is, I am the type, I procrastinate. I don't follow through with things unless I really want to do it or I need to do it. And that hurts. It seriously hurts. So I made the conscious decision to drink a lot more water, to eat healthier, to, vegetables, and, take into moderation. Yes, I can have sweets, but not as much. You know what I mean? To find things that work for my body. So a part of that is, I really, really enjoy Red Bulls. I enjoy Bang specifically. I have energy drinks or G Fuel, something that will give me energy that tastes good but may not be the best. So today was really thinking, you know what? I'm going to start my mornings or my afternoons off with a glass of tea. It's going to work. You're going to detoxify your body. You're going to feel better. And eventually, over time, you're going to have more energy to do things and to really put into things. And so for me, this was my first step of self-love, is to really come back to myself, or to treat myself to things that, within moderation, that I know will make me feel good, will make me, in return, I look good. You develop these confidences to do so. So really, find out what you need self-love wise and just do it. I saw on Instagram the other day that if you speak into your water in a very kind, loving manner, if you drink a glass, you have tea, because water holds information, whether it's negative or positive. Water holds this information. So speaking into it, saying, I want to accomplish something today. I want to, in a sense, for me, example, when I spoke into the water, I thought, I want to focus on myself today. I want to love. I want to give back. So I really want to treat myself to self-love, to self-care. I want to do something for myself that is going to allow me to feel better. So therefore, I look better. I do better. And so that was my thing today, is be specific when you talk about this. So specifically, talking, I want to give myself self-love. I want to divine self-love. And this is my way of doing so, and speak into it and drink it and really allow yourself to follow through. Because if you follow through, like the Ace of Swords, you reap what you sow. So be specific. If you have an outcome, and be realistic about it. Because if you're not, your head's up in the cloud, there's no grounding. You do it for nothing. So with the undesirable, we can say we have traumas that result in anger. You lash out, you do this, and it gets you nowhere. You have intolerance towards people of faith or just in general, and you want to lash out with them for no reason, because you have to look out. And I had this conversation about hating something. Are you just very judgmental? Do you have a sense of prejudice? What is going on within your life that makes you want to hate something? What do you hate about yourself that you're in return projecting that hate? And you really have to ask yourself, is it just a projection of something that I hate, that I've never worked on, that I don't know what's going on? Or is it something that's been environmentally taught to you? How do you unlearn that? How do you do this? How do you do that? And it's really talking about opening these repressed wounds or these repressed traits and allowing the light to come in and heal that. And for me, I have just things from my past that I've repressed, and it's a trauma. It's a wound that comes up, and, I lash out. I don't like anger, but I will lash out when I'm upset. And it's not okay, because it affects my relationships. It reflects, on me. And I don't like feeling guilty. I don't like to say sorry. And that's how I am. I don't like to make amends because I feel like shit for it. And so I have to do it. I have to, do this, and that. And that's what I'm working on personally, is letting go. And I found the metaphor of really allowing your inner self to come out your shadow and stand beside you. Because you're pulling a separation of your physical self and your subconscious self. So in a sense, and I see them like two different things, but here's the thing. When I picture this, I think of myself as a twin, and obviously there's characteristics that are different, and you can tell us apart. And really having that conversation face to face, and, taking it and just dishing it out and taking it at the same time. And it's having that self-love, that self-protection that you wrap yourself in light-wise or energy-wise that really help you out. So really have boundaries and have a plan formulated to do so. So in a sense, shadow work is, you can journal something. You can meditate, which is huge. Again, seeing yourself from an out-of-body experience, even if it's not astral travel, is physically pulling your shadow out and basically manifesting and projecting an image of you, but with the wounds that you're dealing with. What are you seeing? And after that happens, it basically comes, this twin, this shadow self pulls back into me. And I remember thinking, seeing everything that goes on, and standing in a funeral home or standing over a grave and seeing a coffin or seeing some vessel to pour into, and pouring everything and seeing all this negativity and all these wounds that I have going on, and pulling them and pushing and pulling them from, the inner self, and pulling them to the surface and pushing them out of the body into this vessel and sealing it and burying it, giving it back, asking for Mother Cosmos or Mother Earth to bury it into the ground and give it back, to deal with it, to give it back to the recycling bin and send it on its way, because I don't need it. You're hurting yourself by harboring these things. So send it back on its higher path so you can resonate at a higher frequency. Because if you're here and realistically you need to be here to do better, to have people come into your life that are going to teach you even more lessons, and you just keep working and working on yourself. And another thing was meditate, obviously, do chakra work. So chakras are the 7 energy points, and I mean there's more than 7, but we're focusing on the body aspect of it. So the 7 points: your head, your third eye, your head, your crown, your third eye, your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, your sacral, and your root. And so it's really picturing those things, like I was saying, wrapping yourself in Christmas lights of these colors, the purple, like amethyst, which is a very high intuitive color, energy. Your indigo, which indicates your third eye. Your throat, which is blue, any type of blue. And this is why you see me I wear Angel Aura, and I have lapis. Lapis blue is my favorite color. And I have things like this. I have towers. I have just blue. To me is a very calming color. It's very peaceful, but it's also speaking my truth. And I know my throat is something I need to work on because I feel blocked. There's just messages I can't get across that I need to be across. And that's putting myself out there and working and just basically telling myself, look, like, there's no self-sabotage. Like, we're doing this. Like, I am following through. I need to plant the seeds that I need to plant so I can grow. They can come spring. I have a harvest. And you just keep constantly working and watering and being kind to yourself and really realizing that what the work you put into it will have the outcome that the amount of work is. You can't just half-ass your work and expect a beautiful bounty. So it's really curating your garden. It's watering it. It's being kind. It's following through. It's doing all these things and all this work to get the bounty, because whatever obstacle is coming into your life, you will overcome. Seriously, really face down your enemy, which is yourself, and just do it. Don't be half-assed about it. Actually sit down and have the conversation with yourself, like, this is what I need to change. I need to do better. How can I do better? What can we do? And when I say we, I'm not talking about just us. I'm saying me specifically. I don't really like saying I, because it's like I'm referring to myself, and I think ego is I, right? When I say we, I'm talking about my inner shadow, because in a sense, it's attached to you. You're attached to it. It's a familiar thing for you. You aren't just you. You're a vessel with water, with a soul. So having that is saying that you acknowledge the soul's presence. You acknowledge the shadow. And that's a part of you. And so you are a team together. So it's we. It's not I, it's we. So like writing or journaling, if you're seeing dreams and you're seeing messages, like, write them down. If you're artistic, write poems. A blank canvas. If you're into art and you're an artist or you see things, get your medium and just go create these things that you're seeing, because you're creating a piece of yourself that is a physical representation of where have you been. And so when you see this masterpiece, whatever it may be, and mind you, you will create many, many different masterpieces. It's not just the one life. Because you will look back and you will see these things and you will see all of it. So really explore your work, explore yourself, really come to terms with how you are. Even ask yourself, what am I addicted to? Is it a person? Is it sex? Is it sugar? Is it food? Like, what is your addiction? Do you binge watch and you just put the world away, or do you just throw yourself into work because you don't want to be alone? That you're basically ignoring yourself because you refuse to even want to be around yourself. So really, are you putting yourself in a reason to ignore who you are? Don't expect things, in a sense, because expectation is a little monster. Because when you expect things but you're not putting in the work, or you don't even have it, you're not even realistic, in a sense. I'm sorry, my phone is going off. People are just thinking, oh my gosh, I'm seeing this, who's texting you? So people who know this, and you know this nickname, and you know this person, my phone has a heartbeat setting, and so I'm talking to Honey Bunches. For those who know, if you don't, Honey Bunches is my boyfriend. And so that is just his nickname for me. And he has his, so yeah, shout out to him, because he really helped me out on my journey of self-expression and really has encouraged me to put myself out there and to be better and do things and explore every avenue, because of living with regret is not okay with me. I don't like it. So, you have to love. You really do. You have to follow through. And that's the biggest thing, is you really do need to follow through on how you're going about things. You need to put in the effort. You have to be the backbone. And you really have to get tough with yourself. You have to do it. Because if you're not tough with you, no one's going to be tough with you. So you have to have a firm love of divine self-love. But a part of it is being tough on yourself, is having tough love, a very tough, familiar love. And I see that. And have boundaries. Know when to, like cards, you know when to play them. You have to basically assess the situation and go from there. And you really do. Don't make real crazy decisions. Don't just say, I'm going to go on vacation because it's self-love and I'm going to adopt a new perspective. If you feel you've explored your avenue of every avenue that you've gotten, then you know what? Go, just don't be crazy. Like, be very considerate of yourself. Be very considerate of your finances. Be considerate of other people, especially with everything that's been going on. The world is crazy as is. Don't add into the craziness. Don't go buck wild, okay? Remove yourself from negative situations. Remove yourself from negative people. Because when you're constantly around negative, you're going to really harbor negative. And so you really have to remove yourself from negative people and toxic and cut those ties. So in a sense, it's like taking a pair of scissors and you see a string between the two of you, cut it. Just cut it and pull it out. And in a sense, it's like a tag when you buy things, you just cut it. Just cut it. There's no room for that. So cut your ties. Do what you got to do. And that's the first thing of self-love, is acknowledging your toxicity, acknowledging the situations that have made you toxic in the first place. If you're around people that make you toxic, cut ties. I know toxic relationships are very draining, and I hate to say this, but I know from experience there have been toxic relationships I've been in that were fun. I don't know why. It was because it was exciting. It was something new. It was immature. It was everything that I didn't even understand, but it was fun. And that's drama. And that's very toxic, to know that you need to remove yourself because there is something healthier on the horizon. You have to make that change. Really, just make the decisions that are best for you within your own grasp, within your own reality. Don't be crazy. Like I said, don't be buck wild about something. And, don't just repress yourself and throw yourself into things because you don't want to deal with it. is really acknowledging what you want to work on self-wise, and to be something, and having those boundaries, and really knowing that enough is enough. You can't go on, because if you're not your higher self right now, and you're not working towards your higher self from, say, 3 or 4 months from now, or a year from now, what are you missing? What connections are you missing if you're constantly around this toxicity stew that's brewing around you or in you? So really, just be kind, be resilient, and put in the work and follow through. Is all I can say. Is really be prepared to dig into the deepest parts of you, and really acknowledge your little skeletons in your closet, and get rid of. It's spring cleaning in the winter. Like, you really got to. So when you think about it, when I was saying imbue yourself in mother's womb, I really got the sense of death and transition. And with that being said, death in rebirth is very Phoenix. It's very Scorpio-esque. And so really acknowledge that in you, and really let that inner Phoenix come out once you have started your spiritual journey and you've gotten over these obstacles. And really, like I said, be kind to yourself, because you're really going to hate parts of yourself, or maybe you hate them, you dislike them, and you got to get rid of them. You got to cut it out, like cancer, you got to cut it out when it's still growing before it spreads. And you got to take that. Or another thing is, if you get frostbite, you got to cut your finger off to save your hand, and it's just like, be realistic, make a plan, formulate, follow through, and don't expect. Don't sit there with an open mouth when you're not getting the sustenance to feed it. And because you're doing shadow work, you really need to eat healthy. You need to fuel the machine. And the thing that just popped into my head that I didn't talk about is really cleaning out your cellular DNA. Activate it. Activate your soul DNA. Listen to binaural music, or listen to something that are a healing frequency. Singing bowls. Collect your crystals if you go to crystal shops. And really collect things that are going to do that. In a sense, another thing to protect yourself if you're into crystals is obsidian. Black obsidian, or anything black, is very purifying. Smoky quartz, clear quartz, is really, find something black. And it's weird, because I was just thinking about that, and I don't know why I pulled it until now. So really, if you're into crystals or into rocks, please, please, please read up on protection stones. Black protection stones. Obsidian is great, purifying. It pulls this out. It's such a high frequency stone. And it's a natural stone. And you're thinking, oh, it's just lava glass. Like, who cares? No. Really, really dive into this. If you're really interested in doing this, dive into it. So with that being said, I am going to read a couple tarot cards. Well, 3, maybe 4. Whatever speaks to me. And let's go from there and close out this video. So, again, judgment. So the first card is temperance, is really tempering yourself and knowing that you are judgmental and you're doing these things, but keep an open mind about this. Because of temperance coming out, you have to pour into what you're pouring into. And so really reap your bounty, create your bounty so you can reap it. But like I said, we're got to keep this into reality and be kind to yourself. So again, we're seeing this fire energy coming out with the wands. And so what I see in this is this person is overlooking his little crystal ball or his globe, and he's looking out at what he has or what he can acquire. So in a sense, he's looking at what he can do for himself to create more. We have the Tower. So again, be realistic. You're going to face adversity. You're going to face obstacles. And so be meticulous about it. Hit it in the right spot and just move on. Roll with the punches. And really, really, really just work on it. Be meticulous is what I see. Is with Temperance and the Tower. If you balance yourself out, you're going through all these outlooks and you're balancing all of this that's going on, you're collecting, you're acquiring, and you're doing it for a greater good. You're reaping your bounty. You're creating this bounty. You're creating this work, this masterpiece. And yes, life is about adversities. Life is about getting over obstacles, because obstacles make us stronger. We struggle with them, but believe me, we learn from our obstacles. We learn from our adversities. And so with that being said, cards, here's the Archangel Michael cards. Is there any sweet messages that you would like spiritually to be passed to those who are undertaking this journey? Are there any messages that can come out? Are there any cards that would like to speak a message? Are there any cards that can be spoken? Are there any messages that can be spoken for the collective? Okay, we have 3 of them. So, again, with the Tower, I see obstacles are coming out. And with Temperance, you're really rooting yourself down. You're being realistic about what you want. You're manifesting that. And I see that with shadow work is you're getting over the hurt, the negative, and you're really reaching for the positive. You're imbuing yourself in self-love, and you're overcoming your adversities. You're overcoming your demons. And so a favorable outcome. And it says, thank you for the beautiful outcome of this situation. Excuse me, I'm going to restart that. My prayer, thank you for the beautiful outcome of this situation. This is perfect and fair for everyone involved. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for helping me and trusting me and having faith. Again, so we have the Tower and we have our adversities, and the obstacles that we face are our own entire making. So again, you're making your masterpiece, you're making your path, you're making your leeway. So it says you've created this situation and you have the power to change it. Temperance. Temper something and you can change everything. My prayer, thank you for letting me learn on my strength and reminding me of my personal power. Please guide me to manifest and heal accordingly to divine will. Create peace and blessing for everyone involved. Eternal love. I see this, guys. I honestly see, if you have self-love, you have the greatest type of love. You're collecting, you're manifesting this love so you yourself can do better. You can be better. Eternal love, my prayer. Please help me perceive all the love that is surrounding, or that surrounds me, so I can feel safe receiving, expressing, and giving love. Again, self and divine love are the greatest types of love we will ever know. You know mother's love. You have all this, but if you have self-love, you have every type of love, because you are able, for those who have such high self-love of themselves, you will not put yourself in situations that you know will drain you or you know will be toxic. So it's really having that self-love and that self-respect for yourself, because you having self-love, you don't go out looking for it because it's in you already. So thank you, cards, for coming out and really allowing this expression and to actually express what we are seeing, what we are feeling. Again, the last cards of the tarot is we're making our abundance, we're manifesting our bounty, we're making a plan, we're doing the work, we're really heeding everything that goes on. So look, this is our bounty, guys. This is our desired outcome. Healing, love, whatever you've manifested that you want for yourself is coming out. So be patient, have this love, have all of this, in mind, and be prepared to do the work, because if you don't do the work, you're expecting too much. You're hand over mouth. You're not going to get fed. You're not going to be this. So feed the machine. Do the work. just be very careful about it. Be very considerate and have so much love going within yourself. Thank you. So if you haven't heard it today, please remember, I do love you. I send you utmost love and compassion, and please, please have the same for you. Practice self-love. Practice a routine. Practice you, in a sense, and really come into yourself and heal and allow that love to come in and touch the very recesses of your soul. Because if you have that and you're allowing the light in and you're living in the light and you're breathing in that light, you're breathing in that cellular DNA, you're breathing in that spiritual DNA, and you are healing. You are, in a sense, stringing up light for all of mankind. You are one of those people who have activated your awakening. You've activated another stage of your existence. You've activated this, and you're showing that you are able to do this. Someone else can do it. It's really digging deep within yourself to do so. And follow through. If you're putting energy into this, follow through. It's going to be daunting. It's going to be miserable. But you know what? You will see life in a different outcome. You will be more thankful. You will be more grateful. You will be more loving. You'll be more kind. Be not necessarily tolerant. You'll be more accepting. Because I feel like if you have self-love, no matter what everything is going on, tolerance is pacifying something. So accept it. You may not think it's okay or you may not like it, but accept it because it's right for someone else. So accept that because you want to be accepted. So accept that. I love you. I wish you utmost peace, love, and happiness. And please, please, please be kind. Please accept self-love. Accept divine love. Accept mother's love. Accept all this love for you, by you.